people, you know what it is. When we pop up on your screen, it is time. It is time for another We Outside live cast. And tonight is special for a couple reasons. But anybody that's been following us the last couple of months, you all know that we have had the privilege and the honor and working in tandem and collaboration with Put the Guns Down, a World Epidemic, written, created, directed by Terry C. Carney Sr., executive produced by Ice-T and a whole lot of other individuals that have participated in this very necessary and important documentary. So make sure y'all are going and streaming it. It is available on Prime Video, Google TV, as well as Apple TV. So those are 3 streaming services that you can watch it. It is a documentary that is about being against gun violence and certainly the underlying message that comes with that of mental health awareness. So that is what we're going to talk about today, because we have rebranded from the We Outside Livecast to the We Outside Livecast. What the hell am I talking about? Well, I'm going to break it down real quick. It is a world epidemic out here when it comes to gun violence and mental health awareness. 685 individuals are taken daily from gun violence. And so we branded the We and the We Outside to stand for World Epidemic, because that's exactly what it is. And that's what we're going to continue to talk about every show going forward, with maybe a little bit of twist here and there. But we have our first official show under that new brand, and we have a very special guest as always. We have Angel with us. Angel, if I'm not mistaken, are you out of Houston? Where are you out of?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
I thought so, but I just wanted to confirm. But we have Angel, who is a victim of gun violence herself. And we're going to certainly talk about that, because once I got to know you, because you tapped in from last week's Wednesday show with Nick Skits. Shout out to Nico.
The Skits.
And we appreciate it. And then I just got to learn a little bit about more about you and your story. And it was very powerful to me with respect to how you have handled your instance. And we certainly will talk about that tonight, but we want to get to know you as well. Whether it doesn't matter who comes on and have these authentic conversations with us, we want to get to know you as the person as well. So we're going to give you the opportunity just to kick it off, to introduce yourself, let the people outside with us know who you are, what you're about, and we're literally just going to have a human conversation. Nothing more than that, Queen.
All right, I'm Angel, you guys, from Houston, Texas. I'm 34 years old. I was shot at 31. Life has been a journey. It's still a journey, but my life doesn't revolve around the bullets, of course. I don't let that stop me. I do hair, nails, eyebrows. I hustle. I get it. Like, I work out. I'm finally getting ready to start physical therapy October 3rd. So I am super excited because I get to add that into what I'm already doing to get better. And it's just, hey, I can say so much, but it's kind of hard to put in words. But let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I appreciate you taking that time to let everybody know what it is and who you are. So with that said, we'll just kind of start with, what we're going to talk about with respect to Put the Guns Down. When, being a victim of gun violence yourself, right? And for, we're going to talk more about it, with the power that you've been able to take and the courage that you have with respect to that happening to you. When you hear of, or you see of a documentary, when we talk about Put the Guns Down, a World Epidemic, what does that mean to you in general? Certainly, but then certainly somebody that has been, that victim to gun violence as well, if you don't mind sharing that.
I'm rocking with the movement because it's huge. It's a major problem in our day and time. And to actually be, come from that as being harmed by bullets, it kind of hit personal because I never thought that I would be a victim of gun violence. And so it's like, oh my gosh. And normally when you hear people speak about, going and experiencing that, it's unfortunate, of course. But me, I told myself, like, Angel, remember who you are. Them bullets ain't stopping nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That chair ain't stopping nothing. Go hard. It's in you. Hey, you can't. I can't make it up. Like, every day is a fight, but for the most part, I appreciate. I appreciate the put the guns down and all the awareness and everything that's being brought to light. Because growing up, we fight. We coming from the shoulders. What guns? What you?
Mm-hmm.
But to become a victim of that is like, wow. Some days I wake up and forget I got shot. And someone, people ask, like, oh, how does it feel to get shot and all of this? And I'm like, going through it afterwards hurts more than getting shot. I would definitely rather get shot than to have to um, do the recovery process. It's pain. And me, my mental is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I died for over 4 minutes, brought back to life. Me opening my eyes to a scalpel, cutting my stomach open, and big lights over my head. And when I tell you I felt that pain of that scalpel, I felt it in real time. And just that alone, it could do something to your mental. But after sitting and thinking about it and just going throughout my days for the last 3 years, it's taught me that, Angel, you are who you are. You're not going to let nothing stop you. I feel like my past and all the trauma and everything I've experienced it had to happen. Even when I couldn't explain it or didn't understand why I was going through it, it built me up to who I am now. And if I didn't go through those things, then I wouldn't be strong enough to deal with this. And so it might sound funny to you, but this is not the worst thing happened to me. I don't feel like I look at it like, okay, I can't walk right now, but you have the opportunity to walk again, so work. And so it's like another challenge. It comes with many obstacles, of course, but the challenge itself is like, okay, God knew I was strong enough for this. I got it. All right, let's get it. And I wish I had this attitude every day, but I don't. I don't. I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, I'm always happy. Hell no.
I'm,
No,
I'm sure there's
I'm
days
not.
where you have that
Mm-mm.
not mindset, but the feeling of like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, right? Like, what's going on? Do I want to keep on working towards that? And speaking of mindset as well, it is. I think the mind, is a very powerful thing if we allow it to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly seems in the short time that I've gotten to know the little bit of your story, and I'm very privileged to be able to have the opportunity to learn more about it. And I appreciate the trust that you have in me and being able to have this conversation with you. Because what I've gotten to know in this short time is no different than you explained it. You understand that there's going to be the good days, there's going to be the challenging days, but it very much seems like with the mindset that you're holding, even when you can sit there in this conversation and be like, "Yeah, I don't think it's the worst thing that happened or could have happened to me,"
It's
because
not.
you wear it as a badge of challenge, if you will. Like, and you even said it, not necessarily in these words, that God ultimately had a plan for me, and this was just part of my path and journey for a reason that we might not even believe, right? In the
Right.
moment, it's been about 3 years, I think you said, because
Yeah.
you're 34 now. It happened when we were 31. um and who knows, maybe one day you will have a true understanding, at least what you're maybe meant to know, of the understanding of why it did happen, right?
Right.
But if you could just describe what that mindset is, um more on like kind of like those challenging days, right? How do you keep your mental, how do you keep that mindset in a place where you're like, all right, you know what, I might not necessarily be winning the day today like I would like to, or like I did yesterday or the day before, but at the end of the day, I still got a path to walk, and I just got
Mm-hmm.
to keep moving forward. What's your mindset like when you're going through, whether you're speaking with somebody or you're maybe even, because we do it a lot with ourselves. We have those internal conversations, right? What are you talking to yourself about when you're going through those instances?
Um. when it starts, it could happen any moment. I could be happy one moment and I can see something and it'll trigger. And so, like fireworks, everyone's celebrating, but you don't know when they're gonna go off if you're in your house just minding your business. And for me, something like fireworks or slamming doors, like loud, unexpected noises, it'll put me in a mental space to where it's like I'll be more mad at myself because I jumped from the noise, and I'm basically just reliving what happened to me. I relive it when I'm down. Um, I know to pray, but I can't honestly say that's my first go to. It should be, and I'm working on that because when I do pray, it's like instantly, like, okay, God, man, that's okay, Angel, you dug in. All right, you know what to do. But for the most part, when it first happened to me, I found myself very, very depressed. Always made sure it didn't show on the outside, but deep down
Mm-hmm.
inside, I would sit there and I would just have all these thoughts, and I would just think to myself, like, not you. I think it hurt my pride more than anything. Cause it's like I've always been that no one's perfect, far from perfect, me, far from perfect. But when it comes to people, I love on people. I don't care if you homeless. I don't care if you strung out on drugs. I don't care what it is. If I can help, even when I'm passing people and I see different situations, like God fix it for them, fix it for them. Like I don't know what they're going through, but fix it for them. And so when the harm came to me, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, God, you really gonna let me die like this? Me? Knowing that because I'm not a very spiritual person, but I have my one-on-one with God. I grew up in church. Both my
Mm-hmm.
parents are pastors. I was sheltered, so a lot of the things I've gotten into was out of disobedience or being curious. What did I miss
Mm-hmm.
out
Yep.
on? I want to try to figure it out. Like, and that's going through everything like that helped me find my way. But when I'm down, I realize like, wow, I was depressed for 2 years. And I can honestly say I was depressed for 2 years and didn't even know I was depressed for 2 years because I kept moving. I kept doing it. I can't sit in one spot. I was like, oh, this is the longest I've ever sat down in
Mm-hmm.
my life. And so with that, it's like, Angel, if you allow yourself to get into a depressed stage, you don't know how long it'll take you to get out of it. And I don't like the feeling, so I'm like, okay, affirmations in the morning, play your music, pray when you open your eyes before you touch your phone. Don't worry about the outside noise. Just focus on what you're trying to do because you got a lot of people that love you. You have a lot of people that's supporting you. And it's my story, but it's not just my story. It's everybody's story that's connected to me because what happened to me affected everyone. Whether
Mm-hmm.
we
But
were friends, classmates,
that collateral damage that
to,
comes
to,
with it.
to know, your first thought would be, oh, that's too close to home. Like, dang, Angel, like, dang. But just to see all the love and support that I get, it's like, nah, Angel, stay strong, get out of it, get out of it. And like I said, I have my moments. They don't last that long though, because I'll start doing dips in my wheelchair. Like, man, I'm not trying to hear that. Like, you ain't weak. Like, no, look at you. When I get in the mirror, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, bro, you in a wheelchair. Like, I be having these real life, have these
Mm-hmm.
conversations with myself. It took me I want to say, not even a month ago, I got dressed. I was feeling good. And I look in the mirror every day. But this particular day, I looked in the mirror and it just hit me like a Russian, like a tsunami. And that moment, 3 years later, I'm sitting here like, wow. Like I really, really realized I seen the wheelchair. And it kind of it took me for a loop and I was just like I'm really in a wheelchair.
It hits
It's
different when
crazy.
it hits different when you're consciously thinking about it, I'm sure, right? I mean, especially since
Yeah,
you said the kind of the first 2 years where you were kind of just going through the normal motions of
right.
life, but now just in the circumstance that you found you're in, right? You found yourself in. Was there a moment that you had along the way where you just kind of like it just hit and you're like, yo, I'm snapping out of this shit. I'm taking a different course of thinking, or is that something that you feel kind of happened over time?
I moved from where I was at, and the community is smaller. There's more um, elderly people here, and just me being like, it's like being in a whole new world where you don't know where you at. It's like I was here every day for 3 years since being shot, but to be around other people, I kept myself away from people. I show up to different events if I chose to, but for me, it's like I can't do the crowds, and I'm working on that because it gets greater from here. And so if I can fix what needs to be fixed now, I won't have to deal with the mental stress of it when I'm back on my feet. Because I'm not complete till I'm back on my feet. I'm telling you. And so that's my favorite line I tell myself,
I
because
like that.
that's what it is. Told the doctor that. They told me 10%. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. If you told me 1%, I would have been like, okay, cool. And so finding out that I couldn't feel anything from, I
Mm,
would say, mid back T10. My spinal cord level injury is T10. And so that's like bra strap, like mid bra in the back.
okay.
And so with that, I sat there when the doctor was testing me. Can you feel this? Poking my feet. I couldn't feel nothing. I just sat there, and the tears was just rolling down my eyes. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bitch, you out of there. I'm sorry. I'm like, you
You
out of
can
there.
cuss. You're good. It's your store. It's
And
your show.
so
You can cuss. There's cussing on this show. Not a problem at all.
and so I was just, I'm sitting there like, I'm mad, but I'm trying to play hard, like, but to even come back to life after dying, because
Four
that's a
minutes.
whole nother.
You said 4 minutes. That's wild.
It was 4 minutes and 32 seconds, and I came back, um 19 hours in surgery. I've had 7 surgeries, and then 4 more on my arm, one on my knee. And just from all of that, I'm not on any medication.
Wow.
I was on blood pressure medication, pain pills. Well, they prescribed me all these things, and I was taking them like I like instructed to.
Hmm.
But I realized, like, man, I don't feel nothing. Like, I can't feel nothing. My feeling ain't coming back. I dropped all them pills, and I straight went natural. Now I'm doing garlic. I cut the garlic in half, put the honey, apple cider vinegar, let it sit in the refrigerator. Taking, I take that cranberry juice, just anything. Watermelon with lemon juice. I love it. That's my favorite. And so I'm trying to replace the medicine. So I started doing my research on natural things I can put in my body. And when I let the medicine go, that's when I realized I started feeling things. I have complete feeling in my body, but it fades out. I would say now it started out T10, but as now it's like my lower back. I can feel everything, but it it's not how I feel up here on my upper body. But it's the fact that I can feel it. And then the medication, it had me mean. They had me on mood stabilizers,
Mm.
all these just different, the pain pills. People don't realize, and that's why, like, as I continue with my journey, my goal is to reach the handicap community, because actually being in the community shows me that we're not looked out for enough. We need people that's actually going through something, trying to get through it, because the medication, I have a big problem with the medication. You can take that medication, but I started counting up the pills. Like, okay, so if I'm supposed to take 4 of these, 3 of these a day times 365, that's how many pills? Oh, hell
Hmm.
no. And so I'm tripping. I'm like, no, I got to figure something out. And so when I speak to other people going through similar situations, I tell them it's the medicine. I'm not going to tell you to neglect the medicine, but if you can find a healthy replacement for it, do it. Because the medicine will have your mind thinking you can't, you have to wake up and take this, or I'm not going to have a good day if I don't take this, or let me get this. Watching what I eat helps my mental.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay attention. I couldn't use the restroom on my own. I had to use different things, catheters to use the restroom. And again, my looks and how I carry myself helped me carry myself. And so as I got into this routine of I take the pills out the way, when I go to the doctors, I'm very upfront with them. Like, hey, I know this is your profession, but do you have kids? Like, I play on their mental. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
kids? If your kids was ever in this situation, would you give them the same advice?
You have to really humanize it for them,
And
because they get
so,
so, I'm sure that, most doctors just get in their routine where, like, okay, this is the solution, or here's the problem. This is what I normally do for the solution. So they just get numb, I'm
yeah,
sure, in most cases to what they're doing. So I appreciate that
yeah.
you humanize them.
And I
That
tell
what are their reactions when you have those conversations with them?
them. My surgeon was like, "You're a lot like me. I like that." And I'm like, "Okay, then you must be a good man." Like, and he was like, I like." He was like, You should be a psychologist because you cope well. You find good coping methods." Just hearing that from someone that's in the medical field, I'm like, "Oh, so you see it too?" Like, okay, it helps remind me, like, okay, Angel, keep being you, like. And then you have some that'll kind of gaslight you, and I
Yep.
just like I tell them. I started. I was in one program I signed up for a gold card, and I got free like insurance and all that stuff. And this was the first year, and I got into the Harris Health System's physical therapy, and I met my physical therapist, and I could tell he was cool, but I could tell, oh, you ain't got no faith. You don't have enough faith to work with me. And so I told him, when you see me coming in here smiling, hey Eric, whatever, like that lets you know my mood. You gotta match that.
Yes.
Because you sitting here acting like, oh, well, you can't do this, so let me find something to do. Or the occupational therapist, what do you do at home? What do you do? So we can have you doing that here. I said, you're supposed to have an itinerary ready for me. You get paid
Yes.
to do these things. Oh, you can't talk to me. I said, no, I'm talking to you. You just don't like what I'm telling you. It's a way to talk to somebody, but when you with me, I advocate for myself. I have case workers and stuff, but they love me because I don't need them.
Mm-hmm.
I do everything for myself. They told me, oh, something as simple as sign up for disability. My mom signed up while I was under surgery. She signed me up for disability. By the time I woke up and they removed the tubes and I was breathing on my own, someone came in there to speak to me about that. Started right there. And I'm asking questions. And they was like, normally it takes 2 years. You get denied the first time. I was like, oh, okay, I got this SSI in 1 year. And everybody was like, what? I did that. I didn't wait for nobody. And that's the thing. These people gonna tell you, oh, we represent you. We're here. If you need us, call us. They're not gonna be
They're
there for
not.
you
Yep.
like you're gonna be there for you. And so that alone helped me mentally, because it's like, Angel, you can't afford to fall off and fall into no dark place, and you don't know how long you're gonna be in there. Before you know it, you ain't trying to see the doctor. You just trying to give up. Nah, I can't. Because there is something way bigger God has in store for me. For me to go through this, I know
Mm-hmm.
for a fact the other side is greater than I can even imagine. And so with that,
Hmm.
it's like the handicap community is my target. I'm telling you, I'm gonna bring so much joy, so much light, and I'm gonna let them know what you're going through. Okay, what's this? I'll ask questions and then go do my research and come back and be like, okay, look, start doing this. It's the small steps. The small steps. I met this guy through Instagram, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, can we meet up? I would like to give you some of my merch. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool, let's go. And so I met up with him that day, and he brought me a shirt, And he gave my husband a shirt and some wristbands that say "Never give up," and the shirt is 1% better every day. When you
That
read
Kaizen
that,
mindset. Yep, it's the
it's
Kaizen
like
mindset. Just
one
improving
percent better
little
every.
by little every day. Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm like, hey, I might not be walking right now, but I'm on this motorized cycling machine, getting that blood flow for my birthday. There's little things. Even the guy, his name is King Outlaw. He introduced me to. He told my story to a couple of his peers, and then I was able to meet up with an awesome coach with a remarkable legacy wall with all the athletes and everything he's worked with. And I'm everybody he's worked with. And I'm looking at this wall. You got college athletes. You have basketball players, football players, golfers, these different UFC fighters that he's trying to come and I want to work with you. You have a lifetime membership with me. I want to work with you. I see him every Tuesday and Thursday at Total Performance Fitness. And it's simple things like that. It's not people, you got most people, their help is like monetary. It's like, oh, I don't get no help if you're not giving them no money. Me, all I
Hmm.
wanted was somebody to come and show me how to do this. Show me what to do. I can
And
I
nothing
can
more
I
because
can't
you're clearly gonna handle it from there. You're clearly gonna
Yeah,
handle it from there.
yeah, because I want it. You have to want it. It's easy to say, "Oh, I want to walk," but then you wake up in the morning, "Oh, I don't want to get out of bed," or "Oh, my back, I'm in pain. I'm in pain right now," and I'm talking pain. And I go through all my pain, no pills, no nothing. I go through all my pain because I refuse them pills. I don't know how it would be if I allowed myself to even accidentally get addicted to medication.
Yo,
I can't
for
say
real.
if I can't say my mind is strong enough to knock that. Like, I don't know.
You
And so
don't
I
know,
stay away from it.
especially when it's chemical as well, right? It's
Yep.
crazy. Like we got an 11-year-old daughter, and like when any random like drug commercial comes on for any kind of drug out here, and then you start reading, or when they're whether you read it in the fine print or they're saying, hey, be careful with this medication because it could cause all these side effects. Some of them even say including death. It's like, yo, hold up. It's got to make you think, and it clearly does with you with respect to what you are really getting out of it or not getting out of it, right? Because you're supposed
Right.
to be taking this pill that a doctor who went through 7, 10, maybe 12 years
Yep.
of extra schooling above and beyond your 4-year college or university, but then they're prescribing this stuff to you that might give you other things to deal with. Make that shit make sense, people. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, I
Exactly.
think, I think is it,
What's the long term effect of this pill? They're telling you it's fixing one thing, but it's harming other things. And then you're taking these medications together and they're telling you it's okay, take them by the hour or whatever the case
mm-hmm,
is. And I'm sitting here like, I don't like this feeling. And I go to them and I tell them I ain't take it. Like, oh wait, well we can give you something else. I don't want it. I don't want it. Let me see a updated MRI because the
yes,
bullet I have one bullet left in my spine, which is crazy because it's in my canal. It's in the
wow,
spinal canal.
wow,
There's no rip to my spinal cord. There's no broken bones. How the hell did it get there? Like that's what I'm like. So my spine from the MRI is like, okay, how did it get there? How did it get there? I was sitting down when I got shot. So I got shot in my stomach 3 times and on my side 4 times. And those bullets went through my arm first. And so it's like I still to this day I can't understand how it got there, but it's sliding down, and that's why the further the bullet goes down, the my feeling is complete at the top. And
yep,
so from where I couldn't
wow,
feel at all, I couldn't feel at all. And so say this is the upper body, this is the lower body, this is my waist. I got shot right here. The bullet is in my spinal canal here, T10. The bullet is sliding, and as the bullet slide, my feeling is 100%. And this is from feeling nothing. My mobility, I'm able to move, and I'm trying everything I can. I'm to the point where I'm able, when my body is laid flat and I'm trying to turn, it was hard. I couldn't sit up on my own. It's still a struggle to just lay all the way back and sit up. I can't do that without having to grab the floor and push myself up slowly. But imagine going through that plus a broken arm, my dominant arm. It was so hard. It was so hard. And so
I could
and oh, it was
I,
hard.
I could only begin to imagine. And when you talk about earlier, and we briefly mentioned collateral damage, right? Because a lot of people don't necessarily realize, with being a victim of gun violence, right? There's a couple different forms of collateral damage, right? First and foremost, like you talked about earlier, it's the mental, it's that trauma, that stress that comes with it after the fact. You had mentioned, going around in larger crowds, or hearing fireworks going off, or loud bangs, or whatever, and whatever those triggers are
Them
for you,
triggers, right?
right?
The doctors say PTSD, but I'm not claiming none of that. I'm not claiming
No,
it because when you start going with them terms, you lose yourself trying to keep up. Oh, this is that. That's an excuse. For me, that's an excuse. We grew up. I was watching. Who was this? You was speaking with someone was on your live that I was watching last week, and they said something that stuck out. Maybe it was Dooney. Dooney said it.
yep,
No, was it Dooney? Maybe it was Dooney, but somebody mentioned that growing up with mental health issues and the your mama. Oh, it was Neek. It was Neek.
oh
It was
yes, yes,
Neek,
yeah, last Wednesday, yep,
and his mom wouldn't put them. The
yep,
the the counselor at the school would tell my mom, "Oh, you need to get her evaluated. She has anger issues, this, that, or she can't stay focused." My mom like, "Ain't nothing wrong with her. You get home, you get in trouble for whatever got you there, and then get back out there and do it again." And so I keep that same mind frame. I'm not about to let you diagnose me. No,
exactly. Because
no,
at the end of the day, you don't know ultimately anything about me other than what you're seeing in these MRIs or these images, or what you think you know because of things you've learned to this point, but you haven't met somebody like me. Because again, when it comes to that mental mindset, it hits different, right? Like, and I
right,
appreciate a lot in the fact that you said, your target going forward is to really talk to those in the handicap and talk about those in the handicap community. And the closest thing that I can relate to that, excuse me, is I spent about 5 years in the senior living community, right? Independent living, all the way up to individuals that suffered from dementia, which is very much an umbrella term for anybody that doesn't know. There's hundreds of different forms of dementia, right? And the one thing that I learned in my time there, when even at really any age, to try and prevent those type of things, it's socialization. You said it earlier, eating right,
right.
having a life purpose, is a very big one. And also, I can't recall the fourth one offhand, but the context and point of that is it's very similar in what you're describing. It comes back to mindset, because you have taken that 10% that you were given, and you even said, yo, give me 1%. That tells me
Yeah,
there's a
facts.
chance that I'm gonna walk again. And that's all I need to hear, because you are clearly someone, to me, that is overcoming the odds. Because a lot of people, let's be real, they would have the mindset and hearing 10%. Wow, that's a
Of 100,
really low
right?
number. I don't know about this. And they're immediately going to put themselves into that dark place.
You know what got me though?
Was it?
When they told me that, um, when they told me that by the time I made it to out of ICU and into a hospital room, they came in there with a wheelchair, and I was so ready to get in a wheelchair. I'm like, please let me move around. Like, and so they're like, we're gonna teach you how to transfer and all of this. But my mental was like, I'm looking around like, man, I'm about to tell these people I'm in pain so they keep giving me medicine. Or I'm gonna try to play night shift and say they were supposed to bring me medicine. Like on some, let me get high, overdose at the hospital. Let me die before I leave here. That was
Yep.
my mind. Like I'm sitting here literally trying to figure out like, how can I kill myself? I was already breathing on my own, so I'm like, fuck, I should have did that shit when I was on the breathing machine. But what changed my mind was that day they brought that wheelchair in and they said, come on, we're gonna teach you how to transfer so you can go and get PT and CT OT. And I was like, okay. And so I sat up and I'm scooting to the end of the bed. I didn't want them touching me and trying to help me because in my head I'm tough. Like, leave me alone. Like, and so I'm trying, and I turned my body and I picked my legs up and I put them on the floor. I felt the bottom of my feet on the floor. I didn't feel them when they were poking me. I couldn't feel nothing. They're rubbing my leg. I couldn't feel nothing. There was no reaction, no, nothing. But when I put my feet on the floor and I felt the bottom of my feet hit the floor and I could feel the floor, I was like, that's my sign from God. You got it. Let's go. You got it. And from there, I ain't stopped. It just kept going until where now I can. My mom, when I'm around my mom, when it first happened, I would go to church or out to dinner or something, and she's tapping me. I couldn't feel it, but I'm looking at her like this, like she's tapping me as if I feel. I was like, "Mama," and she was like, "I'm sorry." And I'm sitting, but I knew what she was doing because she's the reason I have that mind. She's been tough on me. Like, you don't, no, tears ain't gonna do nothing for you. And not every parent is like that, but my mom know what she gave birth to. Me, you can't give me sympathy. You got to be hardcore. Like, Angel, you ain't doing enough. You need to get up. Like, nah, all that crying ain't gonna help you get back on your feet. It's just gonna mess with your vital signs. All that stressing, all the arguing, all. No, leave all that alone, and focus on what you need to focus on. Keep your
Yes.
mind on God, and He's gonna guide you. And from there, I'm just like, okay. And so, of course, when I'm going through my little stuff, I don't want to talk to my mom because it's like I know she gonna, and so I know to call my dad because he let me talk, and then he'll come
Mm-hmm.
back with his no beating around the bush, just straightforward, like, you know what
Just
you
keeping
gotta
it
do.
facts. Yep.
Yeah, and I love it. That's why I tell my brothers when they come around. I tell my brothers when they come around, don't come around me looking sad.
Mm-hmm.
I understand y'all hurt. Y'all not used to seeing me like this. Don't come around me like that. And when I realize when I have other friends coming, they coming to see me and they just bust out crying. I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need. I have literally cut long time friends off because they couldn't handle their emotions. Don't come around me with that.
Mm.
If I'm not sitting here crying, you don't cry because if you know me like you know me, then you know I'm gonna make it through this. I'm gonna make it through this. Period.
And I respect that, right? Because everything that we do in life, we have choices, right?
Uh huh.
And some people would probably hear that, especially those that don't know you, and be like, "Yo, what? Like, why would you do that?" But I love the fact that you, and one of the themes that I'm getting from this conversation and from you as the strong queen that you clearly are, is that you are going to take control into, you're going to wrap your hands around that control and take a hold of that in a way that other people, let's maybe put it this way, might be afraid or fearful to
Mm-hmm.
do, right? And to cut people off, it seems like, in addition to why you described, the reasons that you had to do that and the choices that you had to make, because you have that control of your overall mindset. And why are you going to keep yourself in a weak mindset or keep yourself around people, especially if you've been like, yo, you can't come around me like this, and if they can't respect that on top of it, because it's now just not even about the fact that they're not supporting you in a way that you're asking for that support.
Right.
Now they're, whether intentional or not, but one could maybe take it as like disrespectful almost, right? And if you're not going to respect me and my journey, because it is your journey, any
Right.
part of your life, whether it's this or anything that had happened in your life previous to that, or things that are going to happen in your life going forward, it's your path. We all just get to be witnesses to it at the end of the day,
Right.
right? No different than people that I keep around my life, or anybody watching, people that you keep around your life. It is your journey. It is your path. You do have the choice of who you're going to keep in. And why would you want to keep people around you in any scenario that you might find yourself in that is going to weaken your path or make it more challenging? So I commend you for that alone, because that's not easy
It's
to
not.
do.
It's
It's
not.
not, because that's a whole nother mental set of gymnastics that you got to play with. at that point, right? Especially when you're already going through the circumstances and the challenges that you are, but the strength that you have and the courage that comes with that, man, like anybody watching this right now, how can you not feed from that energy? Like for real. And I cannot say enough how much I respect that, because it is about the mindset. It really, really is. And for you to take the control that you have taken in your life, I can't wait, because I'm gonna tell you, once a family member on this show is always a family member. And we are
Yeah,
locked
you locked
in,
in.
and
Facts.
I'm definitely staying locked in with you. And I'm excited to watch your journey unfold, because just what I've gotten, like I said at the top of this conversation, what I learned from you, I've already been able to receive some of that energy,
Yeah.
and it's embraced and welcomed. And I thank you for it, because I
You're welcome.
appreciate people like you in my life, whether I've known them for about a week at this point, like I know you, or I've known them for 7 minutes. It's about energies and frequencies at the end of it all, right? And
Yeah.
you get that, and you welcome that opportunity. But again, the control that you have about that, where most people would fold, queen. Like
I feel like, I feel like when I had died, I was in a whole nother world. And to remember it is like, okay, God was still giving me signs. Like, God still giving me signs. Because when I got shot, it was by a family friend. And he suffers from mental health issues, and he doesn't take medication. But I've always been that clutch for him. Like, and so I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on with him. I was sitting there. I called his mom. I'm like, hey, he tripping. And
mm-hmm.
so, after, right, like literally after he shot me, he was like, oh my gosh, Angel, Angel, look what you made me do. And I'm sitting here like, I'm looking at my arm. I was like, bro, you shot me. Like, I was so calm. I'm like, bro, you shot me. Like, and I'm just looking. I seen my bone fly across the. It was like slow motion.
I was gonna say, I'm proud.
I seen the bone fly in the midst of. It's like I didn't. It's like I felt the bullets, but I didn't feel the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
I felt. I seen my bone flying. My mind was more on the fact that, oh my gosh, I could see my bones in my arm, and that alone was like. And so he was like, "Come on, get up, get up." And I was like, "I can't move, nigga. Like, what you want me to do?" And so
Yeah,
I
like
was like,
walk it off. Like you just shot me 7 times.
"Don't get
Like
the people my name. Don't get the people my name." And I'm sitting here like, "Bro, you in my city. I live here. I grew up here. I got love here." I said, "You're gonna look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. I don't care how long you run. You're gonna look over your shoulder for the rest of your life." And with that, I realized that was my first sign. But again, it didn't click. Like, Angel, you can't move. I just knew I couldn't move. And so I'm like, I need water. I need, please call the ambulance. He had to think about it. One of the neighbors came and called the ambulance. He was sitting there like, you gonna tell on me? And I'm like, call it. I'm sitting here. After that, I got mad at him. I just walked him out. I started talking to God. Like, I said my prayer, because I always said, like, if I'm ever in my last breath, I'm gonna cover myself. Let me pray right quick. And so I'm like, God, I repent for all my sins. It's not funny, but I swear that's how it
at
was.
the same time, that's how I'm sure what you're feeling at that point,
I
especially if
was
you can't
like,
move.
okay, now let me cover my spirit. Let me cover my soul, since it, obviously my body is giving out. Let me cover my soul. And I'm like, God, like, I repent, God, I'm so sorry. Like, God, with whatever I've done, I'm sorry. You know my heart, even if you know it's not enough. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was like, but you gonna let me die like this? You gonna let me die like this? I got some water. I hear the neighbor on the phone, and he was like, the the person that was on the phone was like, don't give her nothing. Don't drink no water, no nothing. I'm like, nigga, give me that water. I chugged the water, and I I faded out, and I remember them, because the cars were so parked close together. They pulled me out the back. They laid the driver's seat back and pulled me out the back door and put me on a stretcher, scratched my knees up and everything. I was mad about that too, because I'm like, my legs have always been That's, you know how some people like ass, titties.
Yep.
Mine is my legs. And so I'm sitting here mad because they done scratched my legs up. And so by the time I get on the stretcher, I'm on the ambulance and I'm telling these people, I'm telling the guy, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I said, I can't breathe. He was like, ma'am, calm down. I'm trying to help you. I was like, I'm about to die. I'm squeezing his leg, like, and he was like, ma'am, calm down. I'm trying to help save you. I think that's when I flatlined because I didn't remember anything from there up until them cutting my stomach open. That's when I woke back up. In between that time, it was like a gray whirlpool. Like I went into like how you see like the little Looney Tunes whirlpool.
Yep.
It's like that. It's like I fell into the gray whirlpool. Everything was gray, and when I looked down, it was pitch black. There was a set of stairs in the middle of nowhere, and it was a door, and the door was cracked. I'm on the stairs. There's no railing to hold on to. There's no safety. It's like if you fall, you out of there. And me looking down, I'm like, I'm telling myself, don't look down. And I'm just climbing. And I'm crying because the stairs are cement. I'm scraping up my legs. That's why I'm crying. I'm scraping up my legs. I can't walk. And it's crazy because I'm in a whole nother dimension. Like, but I'm still worried about my legs. Like, no, like, oh my gosh, look at my legs. And I'm crawling. It's like it was about 20 stairs. I was like probably 4 stairs away from the door. And that's when I felt the scalpel and I woke back up. And
Wow.
I felt like that was God giving me the opportunity to prove myself. Like, you gonna save yourself, what you gonna do? You gonna jump off? Because if I bring you back to life, and I gotta make sure you ain't wasting this life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna kill yourself, do it now. That's how I look at it. And so within these 3 years, I've burned my legs. I burned my legs when I was smoking. I use my legs as a plate. I touch the bottom of it with my hand. It feels fine. But I put it on my legs and I'm eating. I had the biggest burn on my legs. And what helps me get through that is remembering these scars. Right now, you getting these scars from smoking. You were smoking, and that scar came from eating, and this scar came from when you fell out your chair. It's like, but when I was dead in another dimension, them scars. And so it's like, Angel, you already knew you was gonna scrape up your legs. Like, don't let that hold you back. Move
Mm-hmm.
past it. And that's honestly how I get through it. So the signs was there. And when I realized like, okay, it's like, Angel, you knew that you couldn't walk, but you didn't register it. And so from there, it helped me keep going. It's like, okay, yeah, I got this. Let's go. Let's go. It's crazy.
Man, it's that's wild. I mean, to not only have that experience, but then to literally flatline like you did. I mean, again, bringing it back to your mindset and your mental toughness and ability to overcome. That's a very clear indication of the type of individual that you are and how you were raised and the
Yeah.
belief that you have. It's a combination of a lot of different things, right? And conversely, I mean, one thing that you mentioned with respect to the mental health of the individual, um, who caused you to be a victim of gun violence. So we're not going to talk about that
Like I
individual.
understood. I understood him. The world might want me to be mad, but I'm alive. So no, don't kill him. That straight up. Like I'm not dead. So no, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Let nature
And
take its course.
karma's going to do what karma's going to do, right? Because no different. We talked about that. We got our own paths to walk. That individual has their own path to walk, right?
Yep.
Because everything is always. I'm a firm believer that everything that we're going to get out of this life, good, bad, or indifferent, is in front of us. We're just here to walk the path that
Yep.
the universe, at the higher power, God, whoever, whatever that you believe in out there. Anybody watching this now live with us, we thank you for tapping in live with us and hearing this strong and courageous story from Angel. Um, But with respect to the other end of the spectrum, when it comes to mental health, right? Those that, maybe go undiagnosed, or people that are diagnosed and not necessarily taking the right steps, what role do you feel, generally speaking, not necessarily, however you would maybe want to talk about it to your situation? That's not what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your insights, do you feel, with individuals who are, maybe mentally unstable, whether it goes checked or unchecked? How do you feel that plays into a role that is similar to that of yours?
Um, First, understanding. You have to understand. Everybody grew up differently, and some people was raised in households that didn't acknowledge mental health, and then but you could clearly see the signs. And then you have those who parents put them on Ritalin or whatever else, just keep them talking to shrinks. Whatever the case is, for me, it's more so like everybody get a pass. When you give them that pass, if you treat somebody, you find out somebody has mental health issues and you treat them accordingly, it's fair, but it's not fair. For me, it's not fair. It's
Hmm.
like, look, I know something throwed off about me. I ain't gonna say mental health, but if y'all want to put the title on it, you can. But I know something loose, and so I feel like if I can find the good, no matter what's bad, find the good, and I try to spill it onto everybody else, because you have a lot of people that acknowledge mental health issues, but they look at it like it's a bad thing. That's why I say understanding what you went through, understanding where you're going. For one, you have to know, what reason are you alive? What are you living for? What is your purpose? If you don't know your purpose, are you doing anything productive in your life? Because if you're just sitting stagnant and you don't know, you just waking up going with the day, that's a problem. That's a problem. You need to find something that helps keep you in a good place. And I'm sure a doctor wouldn't, well, they would agree with that, but they wouldn't agree with how I feel about medications for different things like mood stabilizers and stuff like that. No, don't take that. It with me, I learned, I didn't even know what I was taking. For one, they had me on Dupixent or something, and then it was something else to start with a C. And they gave it to me, and I told them, like, I kept lashing out at my husband. And then when I come down off of it, I'm like, dang, Doug, I'm sorry. Like, why am I like, I don't, my goal, like, you're here with me. We were only married 1 year before I got shot. Two, I got shot July 5th, 2022. September 12th, we made 2 years. And to say that we were so fresh and you still by my side, I would never cause you that pain. Like, why am I being mean to him? And when I realized it was the medication, I went to the doctor and I was like, I don't like this. What is this? And they was like, oh, it's a mood stabilizer for your anxiety and all this. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. Oh, let me give you something else. I don't want that either. But thank you for letting me know what it is, because I didn't think to Google it and all of that. I
Hmm.
just, the medication, man, it goes back to the medication. We need more natural ways of, go do yoga, go to the gym, get up. I even now, like, I'm a big stepper because I just feel like I am the greatest there is rolling right now, because of the fact of the matter is, I can't see myself, folding. And so before I could actually realize, like, okay, Angel, you're getting depressed. Look at you, like, you don't want to get dressed. I gotta open my closet. I'm a sneakerhead.
Okay. Yep.
Sneakerhead.
Like, I love it. I love it.
And so I like my shoes. And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna wear them shoes today. Okay, now let me find something where I had to start from there, because I would sit there and be like, And my husband like, are you hungry? You want this? You want that? And I'm like, no. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to help. I'm like, and when simply just doing that, it's like, oh, like, am I being mean? And so let me push. Let me help him help me. Because they caregivers, even though he's my husband
Mm,
and it's his job to take care of me, and I remind him that every day, we didn't know the circumstances. No one
mm-hmm.
does. And so you can't like, and that's why I tell people like, yeah, be proud of me for constantly going, but be proud of my support system because
Yes.
that's the that that's the real deal. Like it's major. I don't know. I can't say, oh, I would be like this without him. Like, no. I wouldn't want to go through it by myself, and I damn sure wouldn't want anyone to have to go through this with me either. So I make the best of it by okay, yeah, get you some credentials under your belt before you get out that chair. So when you get up, you already know where you're going, and that's where
Yes.
my mind's been. I've written 2 books already. They're just sitting to the side, and I'm just gonna stack them up. I'm hands on. Everything. I'm telling my husband, okay, look, we're gonna do this. Let's start making videos when we go to the gym. Let's do this. I incorporated him because he's been here. He's
Mm-hmm.
been here from day one. He's been
And
here.
so he's seen it from a different angle, right? Which I think is important because it goes back to having, like you said, that right support system. It also talks about when in regards to mental health as opposed to just being getting filled with pills. Um, it's more about, well, why can't we learn from an education standpoint of what we could be doing, what we could be eating differently to help from a natural standpoint, which is still going to give us, the same help, but from more of a natural standpoint. Doug, bro, king shit right there, bro. And not just because you have to, bro, just from a human being standpoint, bro. Like nothing but respect and salutes to you because being in that caregiver world that I spoke about, there's a statistic out there that caregivers generally, and obviously we're talking about it from different circumstances when somebody gets to that elderly type of age and senior care,
Right.
but care providers will generally pass away prior to the people that they're caregiving for because like you've been talking about and we've been having this conversation, there's a mental toll, there's a physical toll, and sometimes we as human beings we get lost. Let me try to put it the best way I could, in the sense that we get lost in the motion of being there for that individual that we're caregiving for, whether Doug, it's you with your queen, or it's a son with his mom, a daughter with her dad, or whoever the caregiver role is being played by, right? That you just start to go in those motions and you start to lose focus and sight of taking care. And that's why it happens a lot, because we do have so much care and love and want there to be that well-being for the individual that we're looking to caregive for as well, right? And I think, as you were talking about, Angel, there has to be that balance, because
Right.
Doug, you still got to take care of yourself, because if you as the caregiver aren't taking care of yourself and you put yourself in an unhealthy or unsafe situation, and God forbid something happens to you, well then we know Angel's got herself. But at the
Right.
same time,
The
respectfully,
support.
and I say that in jest, right? At the same time, Angel has always got herself in these circumstances because she has a support system around her with individuals such as yourself. And I think that's an important thing to note, from what I'm taking out of this scenario and your relationship, not just as husband and wife, but from that caregiver role to somebody that you're caregiving for as well, because people could get lost in that, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
And
If
the
you
sad
don't,
part
go
about
ahead.
it, the sad part about it, what makes what hit harder and actually make me push harder, and not I'm not just this handicapped lady that my husband has to care for. I'm still a wife. I'm a sister, daughter, auntie, godmama, and it's like with them things, I still have responsibilities to have to do. I gotta feed him. I gotta do what wife's supposed to do, and I don't make excuses for myself. And I understand at the same time he's also dealing from his own mental issues from losing his brother to gun violence 2 years before I got
That's
shot.
right. That's right.
I'm
2 years,
sorry to hear that,
2
bro.
years before, yeah. I lost my brother, yeah, to some gun violence. It's senseless. Like she said, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hurt everybody. You don't just, when you pull that trigger, you affect everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
There's more than one victim when it comes
yeah,
down
you
to it.
gotta really think
Yeah.
about it. You know what I'm saying? Go walk it off, or go do something you do on your daily life to, you know what I'm saying? You can, if it's a situation to where you can walk away from it, if your life not on the line or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? But if you can like go the other way instead of taking it that route, if you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be the best route to take. So it's like, and I wish that was the case with my brother. You know what I'm saying? I wish that the dude didn't do what he did. You know, he was scared out of fear, and a lot of people do those kind of things like out of fear. They, you know what I'm saying? When you get, that's like a cop with a gun. I heard a saying that when a cop that has a gun, he loses his nuts. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
he know he got that power in that chamber. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, you know, it's just when the gun is very powerful. You know, you just gotta use it wisely. And like I said, if you can avoid it, you know what I'm saying, take that route. And it just, it affects everybody. Because when you do it, whether you get to go to jail or whether you don't get to go to jail, if you do get to go to jail, it's gonna hit you when you sitting in there facing all them years, 60 years. Like the dude that killed my brother, he got 60 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know how old he is.
And the dude that shot me got 7.
You know, so it's just,
It's it's crazy because no different that we talk about, since we're kind of talking about mental health awareness and how imperative it is in this world. I mean, Doug, with you saying how that's Mo, that's our littlest of the three. He's the one that causes fuckery in the house. That's for sure.
That's
That is for
him.
sure. That's him right there. Um, with you talking about the power that comes with a gun, there's a power, there's a responsibility, and I like the way that you put it with respect to like a cop. Nuts, they get castrated, right? Let's call it what it is, because it becomes more of a crutch than a tool for some people, right?
they
There's
know that
very
they know that they had a power to. They got the legal system behind them. They can make it, fix it up if they got to take it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, you know, it is what it is, though. But like you're saying, it's a lot come with that. You know,
Well, it's crazy because I think that I think we could probably start a whole nother show on how broken many systems are
Mm.
in this country specifically, certainly around the world, and I can't speak to outside of what we have here in the United States, right? But I think the challenge is it comes to greed, right? Like it comes to money. Like everything revolves around money, right? Like I spoke about it with somebody on one of these specific shows in the past. When and we talked about insurance in the past of this conversation, Angel, when you were talking about the people just doctors, physical therapists, occupational therapists, whatever the case might be, the psychologists that come into play. Well, I just want to feed you pills, or I want to feed you
Mm.
pain pills. Well, think about it from the perspective, right, at the standpoint that who knows if that doctor has a connect where they're getting kind of broken off on the back end from the drug company that's prescribing this drug. Now they
Yeah.
no different than cops, since they came up, have a quota to hit tickets in a month. These people that get linked up have a quota to push these legal drugs, right? And I think the challenge is with respect to the system and the greed that people are being pushed by the almighty dollar, and to go out and fix somebody's mental health means the insurance companies aren't getting paid, the drug companies aren't getting paid, these psychologists and psychiatrists and other individuals that fit into the grand
They're all
scheme of things,
connected.
they're
They're
all
all connected.
connected, and they're going to start losing money. They might start losing some credentials with respect to that money. They might it's crazy because I think Terry did a really good job with this documentary and everybody else involved, from the standpoint that gun violence, I think there could be a very strong case made that there is a very direct standpoint of gun violence and mental health, that underlying issue, and no different to every role that is played in mental health or lack of the roles from the specialists, right? That are supposed to play that role and make us like, I forget who it was that we're having the conversation with. They were like, yo, imagine this world if we had as many mental health clinics on the corners as we did Starbucks in this country. Think about that for a second. But why? But why? Because it takes two reasons. We already said the obvious one, money. It takes too much money, but not that it takes too much money, but people have to look at it or from this perspective. It takes money to run these mental health clinics, right? The people that are investing into this, well, if they're not seeing a return on their investment, it's not worth it to them. And it's as fucked up as it is to say that, it's the truth. But I have a question, and this is a direct question to the people that do play those roles. And this is a direct question. I definitely want both of your insights on this and perspectives. And anybody that's watching this, whether you're watching it with us live, again, we thank you for tuning in for this very important and necessary, strong conversation. We got the Queen, Angel. We got our king sitting there right with her, Doug. And think about it from this perspective and this question. Why the fuck, when it comes to mental health or human beings' well being of any kind, do we ever have to think about the return on investment?
Right. Right. That's deep. That's deep.
Like we're not buying a house to upgrade a house and sell it for a cost. We're not going to buy a clunker of a car and fix it up. We're not opening up a Trill Burgers or a Walmart or so, like we're talking about human beings and their mental and physical well-being, because again, no different than we talked a few minutes ago, you're not just you're the main victim in this story, because you're the one that went through the physical and certainly the mental trauma of this experience. But Doug is going through this as a victim. Your mom's going through this as a victim. Your sisters, your brothers, friends that you had for a long time are collateral damage, like we talked about, because
Right.
they're no longer in your life. Now, no different that you had to make that choice for your mental well being and the path of your health journey and getting better, both physically and mentally. But now they become victims as well, because they got to deal somewhere along the way with the fact, yo, I've been down with Angel for this long and she cut me off. What
And
the
she just
fuck is
cut
that
me
all
off.
about?
Yep.
Right. But and again, they may or may not understand when the universe or the higher power tells them that it's time, their time to understand. But that's why I say that we could probably start a whole nother series just on that alone. Like, really, that's a real question, people. That's how you're watching. Why the fuck are we putting, don't get me wrong, I understand that we live in a world where capitalism rules it, the almighty dollar rules everything, but why can we not? Like, is it that hard for us? Have we gotten that fucking fucked up and twisted as a society where it's just the norm to do nothing but make a dollar, that when it comes to people's mental and physical well-being,
Yeah.
that shit is not important enough unless we're making a dollar or enough dollars back on it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's crazy.
Because even when you think about the facilities that they do have for people when they go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, they getting paid to keep you there. You're not staying there for free. It's not like, oh, come on, whether you want to be there or not. They're getting paid to keep you there. And the thing is, they to give you more pills. Now you have to reach a certain standard to be released and all this extra shit. You're forced to do it now. And it's all of it is it's like a concentration camp. It's like that's how I look at it. It's like a concentration camp. And I feel like Anne Frank.
Yo, it, it's sadly true though, because think about it. Like you went. I'm sure that you spent a long time after you went through your multiple surgeries initially. I'm sure there was long-term physical therapy, right? Yeah, and I think you had mentioned that you had to stay at a facility,
Yeah.
right? And that shit is expensive. Like, even, talking briefly earlier when I said I worked in senior living, like, this is our elderly population, right? We should be taking care of our, children,
Right.
women, and elderly first and foremost. It made me sad and definitely at points sickened when it comes to find out that, a dementia resident, when I had left this industry, because it was, like, I felt myself
I
literally
already
going
know.
crazy
Yep.
from working in this industry. Like, I got by on cigarettes, alcohol, and coffee. I barely ate. Like, I had enough just to survive. Literally, that's how I lived my life for a long period of time. And at one point, I literally felt myself going crazy. But we get to a point where if this person or the family of this person, whoever the caregiver is overseas, if they don't have $10,500 a month, sorry, you got to go. You got to go.
Yep.
That's crazy.
What are we doing? And it got even worse the more I knew, or like, the higher up you get, you start to peek behind the curtains more. You get to
Right.
see more shit behind the curtains. And I ended up leaving during like the 3rd or 4th month of COVID when it got shut down. Because like I already started really seeing what was going on, that these people were nothing but a number. Like, I'm sorry, but when there's any medical facility or a care facility that is publicly traded, that's how is that not a conflict of interest?
Right.
How, like,
Right.
again, this is human beings. Like, it got to a point, and it was so bad that we didn't have our in Colorado, when I lived in Colorado at the time, that they were called QMAPs, qualified medical application personnel, or whatever. Like, we going through COVID, because we were no different than anybody else. Like, oh, if you got sick or you had the runny nose or this, you couldn't come into work, right? We got to a point that we were down so many people, I would call up my bosses, now regional directors, and a regional director of nursing. Yo, we don't have a QMAP. We don't have somebody who's gone through the training to apply these medications to these people, which
Right.
can cause death in these people if not administered properly. Oh, well, you got to do them. What do you mean I got to do them? I don't have that training. It is what it is.
You do now. Like, yes, it's messed up. They're not even thinking about you.
Nope. And that shit played with that, like I learned quick. Like, it took long. I went through and made sure everything was done right. But it's like, well, if I'm not gonna do it, well, these people aren't gonna get their medication. And the fucked up thing was, like, I was literally doing, during this COVID time, I was doing everybody else's job but mine. I would work an 80-hour week. I would get home at like 10 o'clock on a Friday. Oh, I can get some family time in. I'd get the call at midnight. Yo, Mike, QMAP's not coming in. And and I'd have to roll right out of bed and go handle it, because otherwise the meds won't get. And I say all this because this was the craziest part. I had found us a temp agency who was always ready to supply us with the proper trained personnel. Oh, also people who weren't doing this shit for 80 hours a week already, right? I got told, sorry, it's not in the budget. Hold on. So we run straight up. This was the first job I had worked. At the time, I was about 41 years old. No, maybe a little less than that, but I had worked for almost 30 years of my life, because I started working at 11 years old. First time ever in my life that I had quit a job with no notice. Because how are you going to sit here and tell me in one breath that we are a senior living community where we are here to care for our elderly and human beings, but then I'm trying to give you the proper tools? I told these people, I can't, like, I'm going crazy. I'm literally going crazy. And you want me to pass life or death medications to these people? And in the same breath, you sit here and tell me we don't have it in the budget. So
like,
hold on. We don't have it.
If they die, they all right. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's
and
messed
this is
up.
our health. This is our healthcare system.
Right, man.
Oh yeah, $1 billion industry. Yeah.
I mean, and that's just one of many ways that the system is broken here, and it's greed, it's corruption. Think about it from this perspective, right? 99.9% of elections, whether at the local level, all the way up to the presidency, the candidate that spends the most money on their campaign wins damn near 99% of the time. Tell me that's not a business right there.
It is. We worked in politics.
Yeah.
We worked
So you know what it is?
directly under somebody running for Congress, and I'm sitting back. We in the office. We not in the streets. We in the office, and I'm just like, you heard that? I'm telling him, you heard them? Watch this. Look, watching the politicians do dirty shit to each other, and it's affecting people, and we're like,
corporate gangsters. That's exactly what it
yeah.
is.
And the insurance companies ain't no better. That provide
Nope.
provide you insurance, they ain't no better. Like, some of them, they don't care. Like if you don't qualify, if you ain't got the money to pay the fees or whatever, the copay when you go see the doctor or whatever, like they ain't gonna. The company is not going to pay for it. You have to pay for it out of your own pocket.
The things that I really, really need to help me get back on my feet, they're not paying for that.
No. Oh, and in those type of situations, sometimes it's like, oh, that's cosmetic, or that's this, or that.
You know how long I've been asking? I've asked my doctor, can you write me a prescription for a standing frame so I can stand for certain amounts of hours at home, and I can get that stability back. They'll write the prescription because you asked for it, and they might want to see you do it too. But then when you go and put it in and try to get it through insurance, oh, we don't cover that. I made a GoFundMe to get a standing frame, and I still don't have it. I just started my GoFundMe a couple days ago, but yesterday I went. I'm driving now. We sold our SUV, and we went and bought a sedan so I can get myself in and out the car.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wheelchair, it's too big. I have nice chairs that the state finally paid for. I appreciate them, but they don't fit in my car. It's yesterday I went and found a brand new wheelchair. I went back to the basics, the manual chair. I went and bought one yesterday from OfferUp from somebody who didn't need it. And so it's like leg braces to lock my knees when I'm standing up.
Mm-hmm.
We're paying for everything out of pocket.
They just take too long. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna tell you no, this don't cover it, that, and like I said, me, I don't play that. Okay, you not gonna do it? Okay, I'm good. I tell them, hey, we got to break that bag because I need this.
Yes.
Need this.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to make sure that once we get off this live, if you would be cool with sharing that link with us, we're happy to put it all over our pages. I'll put it on my Mikey P page. I'll make sure that because again, at the end of the day, we're all humans out here, and we need to do a better job. And I think that's where it starts, right? And that's kind of where I was going to be going next with it, with respect to, because I want to be respectful of your time. But I'm also going to say this: I want to talk to y'all offline once we done going live. Yeah. I want y'all both back. I want y'all both back, because I could probably sit here for the next hours and hours and have this conversation with you, honestly. But I'm curious, because again, I said it earlier. Sadly, 685 people are taken from us due to gun violence every day. That doesn't take into account people that are injured due to gun violence every day, the collateral damage, the victims of the victims, that come with that as well. So it's got to start somewhere. And I always say that if we can take that number from 685 to 684, that's a win. Yeah. Then we get it to 683. Then we get it to 682. Call me crazy or delusional if you think that one day in the future, and that may not be a day where we're even here in the physical.
If we come together, it can get done.
Absolutely. 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 Any just kind of like off the top insights that both of you might be able to offer, in the sense of how do we just, from having to start somewhere, what could we do? What steps could we take just to get it from 684, or excuse me, 685 down to 684, and so on and so forth, one step at a time?
I feel like, what I'm saying, like it takes a community. Like we have to start programs in these low income neighborhoods, because that's where mostly all the crimes happen, is in the lower areas of the city, like, what I'm saying, and just throughout Texas and Houston.
We need the OGs to step up.
Mm-hmm.
All the unks. What y'all teaching these boys that's looking up to y'all? Whether you in the streets or in the workplace, what you teaching them? You got people who can't think for themselves. You have people who, think you cool and they want to be around you, take steal different personality traits from you and try to make it their own. Teach them something. Teach them that it's not cool to look down on somebody just because you're better off than they are.
Right.
Teach them to use their hands if it got to go to that.
If you got a platform, you know what I'm saying? If you got a platform and you a celebrity, however you make a living, if you have a platform, you know what I'm saying, like dig into your arsenal and just, use who you are and the status that you have in the community
for something
in
good.
those certain areas, you know what I'm saying, and just push that, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like everybody that lost a family member to gun violence, whether it was a friend or a friend that was like a family member, or if it was a family member, you know what I'm saying, my heart goes out to them, you know what I'm saying, and I just want to say, long live my little baby brother, Ronald Stacy Plummer. You know what I'm saying? I love
the
you.
Done.
The Done. You feel me? I love you. And it's just like, I feel like you got to get into the community. I mean, you see so much stuff being pushed on these rap videos promoting drugs and, you know what I'm saying, like degrading women. You know what I'm saying? They do it. They degrade themselves too, though. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Teach his own. You feel me? Like
let's put a better message out there. It's needed.
I ain't trying to down them, and everybody make their money how they make it.
But that's when we're gonna put a better message out.
But I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, and the females too. I mean, they got a status or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Put that into the community, like,
Females have to understand that we are the highest piece on the chessboard. Take that and run with it. Take that and run with it. Take it. Know what change you can bring. I don't care what field you in. I don't care what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have power. Unlock that. Tap in. Do something great. And that's why I say that day I reach where my money is just as high as my confidence. Or I'm telling you, they gonna see me coming. They gonna see me coming. I'm on every block, every corner, state to state, international, wherever I'm pulled to help. That's what I want to do. I'm not here just to get through my story and just go back to living my life. No, I want. Come on, everything I done been through, everything you done went through, we about to go spread this, and then we get to do it together. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go change some lives.
And I like exactly how you said that from the standpoint, because you're right. There are some people, they'll do that, but they'll do it once, and then, oh, I did my part.
Right, my good deed for the week or the year.
Like, come on, and sadly, in some cases, it's really not more about the good deed they're doing. It's more the look what I did deed.
And a tax write-off.
It's funny. Like, randomly last night, like I ended up falling asleep at like 8 o'clock, and I normally go to bed at like 10, 11, whatever. And then I woke up at 10, and I was like, well, shit, now I'm awake. So I told wifey, I was like, I'm gonna go on the couch. I'm gonna eat some ice cream and just watch a movie to get myself tired. And I ended up watching one of the barbershop movies, and it was the one where they did the 48-hour ceasefire, right? And Anthony Anderson's character had the food truck or the food little business, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna give all the money to the Boys and Girls Club. And they were at the part where like the reporter for TV had him on the news, and she's like, I got a surprise for you. He's like, yo, woman, fuck that, I don't like surprises. And he's like, well, what's my surprise? He's like, oh, the Boys and Girls Club is here to collect your money. And he already been like, oh, I only got like $500 here. And then she's like, she showed the bag, she's like, it looks like you have more than $500 here. He's like, shut up, woman, I know what I got here, type of shit. And what's really crazy is the fact that I think Dooney popped in. We're gonna bring Dooney in if he popped in. He did pop in. There's my brother right there. We're gonna bring him for the last couple minutes here.
Pleasure.
Hold that thought real quick, Dooney. Hold that real quick, because we're talking about the barbershop movie, and specifically how people come out here. And I definitely want your thoughts on this, Dooney. I definitely want your thoughts on this. It's like perfect timing, bro. And what we're talking about is how people, because Queen and King, meet Dooney, my brother. That is Angel and Doug Dooney right there. We were talking about the topic of how people will come out here, where we already know it's got to start at the community. We got to come together as a community, and instead of doing just their good deed for the week or the month, as Angel had put it, people will come out here and do it for the wrong reasons. It's not necessarily about doing the good deed. It's more about the look at me, look what I'm doing shit, as opposed to being the help for the community, right? And it's really crazy because Doug, you said it. You both said it in in different words that we need to come together as human beings, and it has to start in the home. It has to start in the community, because that is the foundation that will stick within our country, right here for this conversation. And then Dooney, I want your insights on what we're talking about right here. There are many, many, many communities, thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of communities that make up this whole country, right? You said something earlier that very much correlates with this, Angel. You got to take that 1% at a time, right? If we could take one community at a time, well, eventually, with that message of positivity and strength and courage and coming togetherness, well, before you know it, we're not having 685 people taken on a daily basis. That
Right.
number is more like 500 or 400. So that's I wanted to point that out. And Dooney, we're gonna Angel and Doug, as long as y'all are good for another like 10-15 minutes or so,
Yeah, we're good.
we're gonna extend it for a little bit, because I definitely want Dooney's thoughts on this, and any thoughts that Dooney wants to pull in to this as well. But Dooney, like, what are your insights and thoughts, coming into the conversation, and hearing what you heard coming in, bro?
I mean, first of all, pleasure to meet y'all. It's an honor. I still got these young pups back here in the back room, man. I work with the youth, so uh, I'm on them to make sure, that we one less victim, one less crime, right?
Right.
Um, um, but as far as that, man, we all we got, right? And it only takes one. It could take one spark from every community, man.
Nah, for real,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? One spark, right? But we got to spark that spark, and I think it's happening now. I was just telling the youngsters, I'm so uh happy, excited about the future of our people. I
Right.
see them waking up. When I see youngsters in the store talking about, man, quit treating me like that. I'm tired of y'all treating me like that. I know something's changed.
They speaking up for themselves. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
That's
right.
big.
Um, it wasn't like that. They just take the mistreatment and just, leave out the store or whatever. But they starting to say something.
Yeah.
Um, and they start to move different, you know. But it's the elders, we gotta step up. You know what I mean? We know how it was. The kids don't know how it was before,
Right.
but we know. So we can only recreate that for them,
Right.
because they can't create it for themselves. They don't know what it's like to be at peace all the time in your community and anywhere you go.
Right.
There was once a time we lived like that. And your kids was my kids. They was on the block doing something wrong. I brought them home to you.
That
And you
village.
didn't cut me out. You didn't shoot at me. And bruh didn't want to fight me for saying something to his son that knowing his son was out of pocket, right?
Right.
Um
That village. It takes a
yeah,
village.
yes, yes. And like I said, I'm happy about the plight of our future, and that our president is waking us up.
Right.
Right.
And I was never really interested. I was never really interested in what's going on in the world until I became a victim of gun violence.
Hmm.
Now I have the time. I'm not in the streets. I'm not always busy. I'm always busy, but I'm not in the streets. And so I can
Hmm.
educate myself. And what I
Hmm.
see, everything that happens in the dark is coming to the light. And that's where change begins. And so it's like it's very refreshing.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, lives are still being taken and people are still being mistreated. But as for me and my husband, I told him, like, just because I'm in a wheelchair, no, I had to stop people from trying to victimize me. Like, I'm not a victim.
Hmm.
Yes, I was
Right.
shot, but don't call me no victim. I survived that shit. I'm still
Hmm.
going. For
Right.
the elderly people here, that family members don't care for them. or they sending little grocery shopping through the apps. There's no
Mhm.
visits, no sitting down with them talking. We meet up in the lobby. We talk. We cook for these people. We feed them. Let them know, hey, if you ever need anything, they get to calling a lot. But guess what? I don't care because
Mhm.
they're 75 years old. Like it's a blessing to live that long. I'm like, well, what
Yes.
you need? Okay, I'm about to come down there. They don't see my chair.
Right.
We move in a way to where they don't see, oh, she's hurt. All they see her heart because they're not
Mhm.
used to it. And that's what got me. And so even when I'm around, I'm not no innocent bystander. You're not gonna do something to somebody and I'm not gonna say nothing. No. Who you talking
Mhm.
to like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know that woman older than you? Respect your fucking elders. You gonna talk to your mama like that? Like
Mhm.
I get
Right.
aggressive to where they like that ain't even. I don't care. You're not gonna do that. Nah, go
It's the
somewhere with
heart.
that.
It's the heart. It's the spirit. You know, it's the heart and spirit that moves soldiers. It's not the body.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So, uh, keep pushing, Queen. You know what I mean? You got a
Always.
king behind you. That's man. I honor you, King. I'm a
That's
champion for love,
Superman.
bro. I'm a
Man.
champion for love, man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
stay in shape. I work out. I stay in shape. Keep my cardio up because
Come on, man.
I stay strong for her, and I also stay strong for myself because my dream is to play professional football one day. So,
Okay,
yeah, I haven't
okay.
gave up on my dream, so I'm still pushing towards that. And one
Yes,
day
sir.
I get my shot. One day, and
Yeah.
make it happen. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. All is possible, King.
You get what you
All
put in.
is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that we can't do. That's
Right.
why
Mm-mm.
that's why we having these problems we having because we understand our greatness and so do they. Right? It's all about rising to it.
Right. Don't
Right?
let
It's all
nobody
about
tell you you
rising to
can't.
it.
Just because they don't believe in themselves, look, keep that over there. Nah,
Right, right,
no. They say the sky is the limit. No, I'm trying to go past that.
right, right.
What's
Yes,
beyond
for
the
sure.
sky?
It's some above the sky, right?
It's something above it. It's something above it. The sky ain't the limit. It's something above it. That's why, hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Just something. I love when people reach out. Like me, I've always told, like, something simple as work out with me or get me to
Hmm.
talk about my story. Them the things that help me.
Hmm.
You got a bunch of people with different problems. They might can't help you one way, but they can help you another way. I like the
Hmm.
fact that the help I want is free.
Hmm.
The help
That's
I
right.
want, the help I want is free. Just
That's right.
teach me what I need to do. Teach me,
Right.
okay, this is for that. Okay, bet how I do it. Okay, all right, good. So when I go home, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add that into my everyday. Watch,
Hmm.
I'm gonna be back on
Hmm.
here. Y'all gonna catch that. Y'all gonna catch them updates and everything. I'm right here. Dooney, Mike B, where y'all at? Like I'm for real.
When
No,
That's
y'all come on,
like
we support y'all through the end, to the end. It's families to the end. So we definitely gonna keep in touch, and we definitely gonna support whatever y'all doing. Um,
that part.
and stay being an inspiration to our people. Uh,
Thank you,
that it
man.
ain't never over. Yeah, eyesight is what you see, and mindsight how you see what you're seeing, right?
Yep.
right,
Yep.
Mm.
And you see your future as it was. Nothing's changed.
right,
As if anything, I can see it pushes you and propels you further than what your original goals and plans were, because God gave you a new plan, Queen, and you're serving our people, and they need to see that
right.
there is a thing called comeback, right? That there is. You just got to be
Thank
resilient,
you.
right?
What I told you
And I
earlier.
appreciate that.
I'm not complete till I'm on my feet.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take off after that. Like facts. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm using this downtime not to sit in sob and sorrow and all of that. I'm using this downtime to correct what's wrong with me.
That's right.
I get that one on one with myself because I was always
Mhm.
moving. I didn't care. I get that one on
Right.
one myself. I told myself, Angel, the things you don't like about yourself, use this time to fix it. So when you get on your feet, you can actually do something. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
actually do something. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
this live is gonna age very well. It's gonna
Right.
age very, and I'm taking it with me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You doing that
I'm
right
done.
now.
Mm-hmm.
You getting up and doing that right now. Trust me, you're inspiring many people. right now.
That's
And
good. That's all I want. That's
and
all.
and and no different than I said earlier. Not only are y'all coming back, but we'll definitely talk offline. But I would love it, and I know I speak for my brother Dooney. I would love for it, especially with the journey that you both are on.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's a
I would love to make y'all reoccurring guests and coming back to
Okay.
tapping
I
back in
love it.
every 6 weeks, every 2 months, whatever. We'll work it out. But I'm telling you, outsiders, everybody watching this right now, mark our words, all four of us right now.
Yeah.
This journey is going to continue, and this journey is going to be televised.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Because we
Yep.
already got 2 books waiting. I feel a movie coming out of this, and we know some people, Dooney, that can
See,
make
yeah,
that
you
happen
understand.
too.
You get it. Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
speak, and we also see, right? I'm gonna tell you, I also see uh, us going to a couple football games, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Getting front row seats or something, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just throwing it out there, right? I'm just stating my
Yep.
claim right
What?
now.
Hey, yo, Doug, we gotta know what's the number gonna be when you're on that field. What's that number? Because we gotta make sure we get our jerseys ready when that happens,
gonna
bro.
be
uh,
he's gonna be either 47 or 45.
that's
There we
right.
go.
Why?
That's
There
Let
we
me.
right.
go.
Because I always rock them numbers when I played.
So,
So
which
Right.
number would you pick, though? Which one is more important to you?
47.
That's your
All
number
right.
right
Yeah.
there. See?
That's right.
There we
Process
go.
of
That's right.
elimination. That's
There
You
just
we
gotta
go.
number
own
one.
it. You gotta own it. You gotta wear the jersey
Right.
before you wear it, bro.
Right,
You gotta
right,
walk onto that field and play that field before you play, bro.
right, for sure.
God is good, bro. He answers all their prayers, bro. Right? If you
I'm
can
just
believe it, your heart can conceive it, you can achieve it, bro. I
Right.
promise you that.
We've made it this
I'm just
far.
I'm just standing on resilience. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Resilience, yeah.
Man.
No, it's all love. It's all respect. We're gonna end the live stream here in a few moments. But this goes directly to you, Angel, and you, Doug. Any final thoughts that you want to share with everybody out here before we end the live stream um, on them this evening?
I just want to say, know yourself, know your worth, build a relationship with God, and just be the best version of yourself you can be. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fall short, and just keep that admiration in your heart to want to be a better person every day, and just push towards that. Every day, God bless you to wake up.
Right.
That's it.
And
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
leave y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all with no excuses. Cut out the excuses. I don't make excuses for myself, so I don't accept excuses from anyone else. And if I can do it from a wheelchair, anybody can do it.
Mhm.
Anybody can do it. I don't care what your situation is.
Mhm.
Anybody can do it. And you got it. You got it. Stop lying to yourself. Wake up and just get it done. If it seems like it's too big, pull that paper and pen out. Brainstorm it. Write down the steps. What do you have to do to accomplish this? Start with the first one. Don't try to do it all at one time. Just start with the first one, and that first one gonna take you to the next one.
That's right.
Very
Mhm.
well said. Very well said. With that said, Angel and Doug, don't go nowhere. We're going to end the live stream here in a second. Everybody that's been tapped in with us, we thank you. We appreciate you. As a reminder, this live cast, the We Outside live cast, stands for World Epidemic Outside. That's exactly what it is. And our partnership and collaboration with Terry C. Carney Sr. Put the Guns Down on World Epidemic, streaming on Paramount. Excuse me, not Paramount. Prime Video, Google TV, and Apple TV. It is available to be streamed. It is a necessary and important message. Have a watch party with it, people. It's out there. We're going to share that. Angel, we'll definitely get your information for the GoFundMe that you got going on right now. And
Okay.
again, ladies and gentlemen, if you caught this live conversation in the middle of it, it's going to be available on our YouTube permanently, damn near as soon as we are done and I officially end the live stream. It's going to be available. So go back, rewatch the whole thing, share it with somebody, because this, for me, Dooney, I got to tell you, bro, of all these conversations that we've had thus far, specific to being against gun violence and mental health awareness, I'm everybody that's been on the show in the past, I'm not taking anything away. Everybody's story is different. This, for me personally, has been one of the by far most inspiring conversations
Right.
that I've had on this platform as a whole in the 19 months that I've been a part of this We Outside live cast that we started back in April of 2024. And it's only getting stronger because we are building for free the community that both of you had mentioned, the community that Dooney and I both already know what it is and what it takes to overcome the 685 individuals that are
I
taken every
appreciate
day.
y'all for that too. It takes heart to stand up against everybody and do something. As what he was saying, he was working with the youth. I appreciate you for just being that motivation, that person that they can look up to, somebody that can guide them. That's awesome. Like, you guys are awesome. I see greatness. This is greatness right
We
here,
appreciate
and
that.
I love it. Y'all in the right. Y'all right where y'all need to be. Y'all right where y'all need to be. And it's an honor for me because this is my first interview, live conversation. This is our first. So it's like, I love it. I
Wasn't
love
too
it.
brutal
Nah,
for you,
Walk
was
in.
it?
Huh?
Wasn't too brutal for you, was it?
It was perfect.
Hey, look, I don't like that sugarcoat nothing. No, we straight. Tell it like it is. If you can't handle it, you got to move around, because that's the only way it's
mm-hmm.
gonna get to you. If you no, we're not doing that. No, I like the realness. I like the it is. This is what it is. This
We
is
say
what it
outside
is.
live, true don't need no script. True's the heart, you speak it.
Facts.
We don't need no
Facts.
True
script.
story,
We don't
dude.
need to write down no questions or nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's organic.
Yeah. You guys are
True
dope, man.
story. Nah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. I'm gonna end the live stream. If you got 1 or 2 more minutes, hang tight real quick so we can say official goodbye and talk real quick about bringing y'all back on a
Okay.
reoccurring type of standpoint. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be live on YouTube immediately as soon as I